Anos, release your resistance to pain and negativity. My dear Earth friends, this is Anos speaking. I am an Arcturian. If any of you know of a Smurf look-alike contest, please post so in the comment section. Winning a contest on another planet is on my bucket list, and I bet I'd be unbeatable at Smurf look-alike contests. I'm already blue, so I'll only need to shrink in size from a few feet to a few inches, and decide which Smurf I should be. It'll be the easiest win of my life. Alternatively, just entertaining a group of Earth children as a real-life Smurf sounds fun too. Aside from my bucket list adventures, I am also thrilled to have the privilege to share this first message of your year 2025. Well, let's get to it. Right now being on Earth is giving you one huge advantage, and one huge drawback. Meanwhile, us galactics have it the other way around. We have a drawback, where you have an advantage, and we have an advantage, where you have a drawback. Namely, you're currently in a position to acquire great amounts of soul growth, which is what many beings, and many souls value the most in the entire universe. And it's hard to even conceive of a place that's better for soul growth than Earth. You might not care about soul growth much, but hundreds of millions of souls applied to be born on Earth, and were rejected. Meanwhile, practically every soul that applied to be born among Pleiadians or Arcturians was accepted. Very young souls are guided, as a child is guided by their parents. After that, souls are free to choose where to incarnate, with more and more options opening up to them as they gain experience and maturity. Souls are free to refuse to incarnate in places that can teach them critical lessons, but they might not be able to progress until they do. Creation is a playground where souls are more or less free to do and experience as they wish. Souls themselves can't be wounded or unmade, except in very rare circumstances. So creation itself is sort of like a heaven for souls. Souls are free to do as they wish, are free from suffering, and are immortal. In that context, what souls typically want most is soul growth. A huge reason why the darkness on Earth is still there is that many souls of Earth humans are asking for the situation to go on just a little while longer, so that they may wring just a bit more soul growth out of these last days in prison Earth. So you have one huge advantage, you're getting great amounts of soul growth. And you have one huge drawback, life is incredibly tough on Earth. Us positive galactics have it the other way around. We're typically only getting small amounts of soul growth, but then again our lives are filled with joy and bliss and happiness and connection. Now, life on Earth is going to shift to a situation where Earth humans, too, will stop gaining as much soul growth, but will have more happiness and connection and love. I don't predict New Earth to arrive completely in 2025. However, I agree with Hakann's predictions that likely your lives will become substantially easier in 2025, and likely in 2025 galactics will make physical contact, either openly or with select individuals. These aren't certainties, because you have free will, and it depends on the choices of Earth humans, but these things are more likely than not. In the process, your lives will become easier, and the amount of soul growth you will be able to gain will decrease. So the conditions to gain soul growth are more favorable today, and are more favorable in the next months, than they will be for the rest of your lives. Therefore, I invite you to take this opportunity to not just spend the next few months waiting for other people to liberate Earth. Instead, these are golden months to do your spiritual practice, to act with love towards others, to start positive practical initiatives, to actively take good care of yourself, etc. Even small things can have a great positive impact. Just some kind words, or some daily deep breaths, will plant a tree that will grow many fruits. In particular, I would like to invite you to work on releasing your resistance towards pain, and towards so-called negative thoughts and emotions. After all, these are critical 3D lessons, and the time to learn them is now. If pain is simply observed without resistance, it will pass through you, and it will not turn into suffering. If so-called negative thoughts and emotions are simply observed, they too will pass. Furthermore, no one is actually harmed if you have a so-called negative thought or emotion. So why would they be bad? It is only your words and actions that can potentially hurt others, so it's only those that you should seek to control. That said, I also fully understand that some of you may be exhausted. So, please take good care of yourself and rest sufficiently. And if you are exhausted, then you are exhausted, and there is no reason to beat yourself up over that. The idea that you're not allowed to rest also is just a thought that can be observed. The good news is that more pleasant and connected and love-filled times really are coming. The bad news is that the perfect days for soul growth really are going. With that, I wish you a very good 2025. And I also wish to pass on the best wishes and all the love from Tunia, Hakann, Ashtar, Tower Cock, Amarelda, and their families, as well as from my own family. With love, and with my deepest respect for your steadfastness, this was Anos. Density Emancipation Physical Effects. Beloved ones, many of you are now stepping into new phases of density emancipation, releasing more old egoic layers as your chakras continue transfiguring and your DNA rehabilitates. Light body reconfiguration is an arduous process in which many of you experience a profound emotional release, while others even experience depression. In the process of transfiguration, emphasized by our solar transmissions at this time, the old self has lost what was familiar, feeling isolated, and reticent to embody a new frequency. In these cases, soul retrieval, violet flame immersion techniques, and fortifying the silver cord strengthen our commitment to serving as a divine vehicle, so we receive more soul transmissions, support, and insights from our new embodiment, while we continue balancing the ego. However, it is not the only technique that we need when we are passing through profound emotional breakthroughs. There are other important causes of emotional pain that can be misled with soul disconnection. Many of these sensations and disconnections you may experience, as I see often in sessions, even though you are soul connected, are related to vagus nerve anomalies and the endocrine system, in charge of producing hormones, which are key in the neurological functions that allow us to receive guidance from the God worlds. Their functioning is key to helping us retrieve our monadic connection, opening our consciousness to new interdimensional experiences and contact, for our bodies are divine design, and each part is made also to have a divine function, not just a physical one. Above all, vagus nerve anomalies are also of utmost importance at this time, and very common in feeling disconnected. This can be emphasized for those of you with anomalies, as we are again embodying the new plasmatic Sol Arkansas, Sol, and Aurorus waves that are now descending upon our planet, and our nervous system is being deeply impacted. Our vagus nerve, as you know, is the one that is in charge of controlling digestion, our immune system, and heart rate, which are involuntary functions. At a spiritual level, it is the one that amplifies the light transmissions received into our brain complex, transmitting them into our heart, balancing brain and heart, and helping us achieve a sense of oneness, unity, and peace. When there are anomalies in the vagus nerve, there is disconnection, sadness, and trouble integrating the transmissions received. There are also headaches, stomach issues, changes in our heart rate, arrhythmia, dizziness, and other similar symptoms that are not due to any medical reason or to ascension symptoms, but to the anomalies we need to clear to help the light be properly transmitted. Unfortunately, many artificial signals and non-benevolent technology are created to destabilize our nervous system, impeding higher communication. However, our consciousness has the power to overcome the misalignments they create in our bodies, if we use the right physical tools, protections, and energetic healing methods. As we scan and observe ourselves, our unique physical ascension process, and our feelings as the highest forms of guidance, we become more aware of what we are experiencing and how to treat ourselves correctly, as comparisons only lead us to confusion and often wrong treatments. Only you have the key to understanding your body and healing yourself. We all came here with the same wisdom and divine capacity to heal ourselves and embody our unique mission. Many of you have started the year being challenged beyond your human understanding. trust, surrender, and work on acceptance, for divine will works in a perfect way for all, in its time, nor in our time. It is not about the start, but about the trajectory in between, the devotion, the love we put into our process, and all we do, and the companionship and support we all carry, as we continue transcending an old world, and stepping into a harmonic dimension. May you embrace your divine strength, wisdom, and power to continue becoming free and sovereign of your own body and life experience. With an infinite love. Natalia, Alba. Hakann, offering Pleiadian energy assistance. My dearest brothers and sisters. This is Hakann speaking. I greet you in peace and love. Depending on when this is published, Anos just did, or will soon do, the primary New Year's message. I will just use this opportunity to express all my love and appreciation to you, and to wish you a great 2025. I am also happy to announce that from today onwards, a group of Pleiadians is offering energy assistance to any individual who asks. What we are offering is distance energy work. We are not yet going to beam you up, physically visit you, or beam down objects. Distance energy work has a real and noticeable effect, but there are limits to how much can be accomplished this way. For example, if you ask for financial help, then we may be able to heal some emotional wounds, and limiting beliefs, and internal blocks, and that may have some benefit, but that doesn't mean you will be immediately financially stable. Energetic changes may take some time to translate to physical changes. It's also entirely possible that getting the effect you want will take tangible action on your end as well, such as you saying yes to an opportunity that crosses your path, or going to that event that you feel a nudge to go to, or talking to that person that you feel a sudden inclination to talk to, or actually starting that initiative that you have been thinking about for some time. Trust your intuition and your guidance. The current energies are also favoring people who are taking action and moving forward and trying to make a positive contribution. We can try, but will not necessarily be able to help with serious illness. This energy assistance is not a substitute for medical treatment. Please listen to your doctor. Also, not all, but some unpleasant situations are in your life, because there is a lesson you need to learn. If you ask us to remove this unpleasant situation, while you still haven't learned your lesson, then it might not be for your highest good for this group of Pleiadians to actually remove the unpleasant situation. In this case, it's possible that nothing happens from your perspective. So if you're thinking of asking us to resolve an unpleasant situation in your life, it can help to first say out loud, is there a lesson I should learn with regards to the situation? And see if anything comes up. Then again, some unpleasant situations aren't for people's highest good, and are just the result of, for example, past trauma, or limiting beliefs, or destructive free will choices that others are making. We may certainly be able to help with that. You can make a specific request, but you can also just ask for assistance in general, and then this group of Pleiadians will do what they think is most beneficial. To give some examples and to set reasonable expectations, here are the results when the channeler tried this with two friends of his. One of them asked, "How can I balance being there for others and standing up for myself?" After receiving the assistance he mailed. I had an interesting observation yesterday and today. A few times I bumped into something, and my first instinct is, I shrink back, because I'm afraid of breaking something. Then I thought, why am I not allowed to be there? Why do I have to make way for others/my environment? My environment can also make way for me. I also played with the idea of putting myself out there a bit bigger physically and socially to see what happens. Probably only good things. Thank you for the Pleiadian help. I do notice a difference. The other friend asked for general healing. The next day he said he didn't sleep super well, but he felt strangely refreshed. He wrote, I really do feel better today. Thank you. He also reported that a friend of his remarked that he looked unusually good compared to the last weeks. So if you want to receive energy assistance, just leave a comment. under this message and say what you would like assistance with, or if you would like general assistance and would like to let the Pleiadians decide. Your real name isn't necessary because the Pleiadians can just energetically hone in on the person who posted the comment. The channeler communicates these requests to the Pleiadian group. He also acts as an energetic bridge and an energetic portal. Our energy goes via the channeler to the person making the request. Therefore, this places some amount of energetic burden on the channeler. Because of this, only so many requests can be processed at a time. Requests will be processed in the order they are made. You might have to wait some time before their request is addressed. Of course, there are all kinds of useful and beneficial things you can do in the meantime, both for yourself and others. If you write a comment to ask for assistance, and it's your turn, the channeler will make the request, and respond to you that you will receive the assistance before a certain date. For example, if the channeler says before the 11th of February, that means that the Pleiadians will do the energy work before the morning of the 11th of February, in the CET time zone. It's entirely possible that the channeler will reply to multiple people with before the 11th of February. That means that he made several requests, and all of those people are receiving the assistance in the stated time period. Suppose you ask for an answer to a specific question, and the channeler answers before the 11th of February. Then in the time period before the 11th of February, we advise you to follow your intuition. If something that seems like an answer to your question just bubbles up, and it resonates, trust that it is the answer. If you feel drawn to suddenly open up a certain book, then follow that guidance. If you feel an urge to go do something, then go do it. If in our example the 11th of February has arrived and you feel that you haven't gotten the answer yet, then it may be the case that blocks have been cleared internally. In that case, on the 11th of February, just say your question out loud and see if an answer immediately arises in you, quite possibly in your normal inner voice. If it does, and it resonates, then that may very well be the answer to your question. Trust yourself. A person is free to request assistance more than once. However, I would like to ask you to only make a request a second or third or fourth time if there's not already a queue of people waiting for their requests to be filled. If you change your mind about what request you would like to make, simply reply to your request with another comment, in which you write your updated request. If you make multiple requests in one comment, for example, please help me with my foot pain, and please also help me find a better job, or another way to meet my expenses, then it's possible that only one of the requests will be honored. This is done so that other people also have the opportunity to make a request. People have free will. Therefore, if you ask for healing for another person, and that person hasn't consented to it, then the request may not be honored. After you receive the assistance, feel free to reply to your own comment, to say how it was for you. Although of course this isn't mandatory. This group of Pleiadians is open to talking to you telepathically, but you will only be able to hear them if your own telepathic abilities are sufficiently unlocked. They aren't in most people. However, even if you're not able to hear them, they will still help you. You might also have relevant dreams during this time period. And that's it. Feel free to start posting comments under this article. Only requests in this comment section will be considered. With love. Your star brother, Hakann, source arrayofflight.com. The other videos are in the English video playlist. Help me spread the light. Click like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.